Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Alpha Omega Occasionally. Do you know something? It's been a while since I put up the last video. It's been about a week, and that's completely unintentional. But as I say, you have to have something to say rather than just doing a video for the sake of it. But this video is fairly important. It's you've got to think carefully before you come to Thailand. Because there's a lot that you don't realise you have to do when you get here and to maintain your life here. If you've never been here before, or maybe you've been here on vacation, but living here requires a lot of ins and outs that are tedious, somewhat time consuming, and downright a pain in the ass. So, see, there's plenty of other options. This is what I'm going to say to you. Before I came here, I was transfixed on coming here. It's where I wanted to be for various reasons. I usually say to people, I give people 3 reasons. They say, why did you come to Thailand? I say, well, 3 reasons. The food is hot, the weather is hot, and the girls are hot. Well, there you go. I like hot food, I like hot weather, and who doesn't like a hot girl? But there's so much bureaucracy. And look, it's, again, I'm not being negative, I'm just telling you the way it is. You've got your 90-day report. You've got your annual visa. Now, that's what you've got to do to maintain yourself here. You've got to renew your visa. Well, you don't need me to tell you, but here's the deal. If I had have gone to South America, Argentina, for example, I'd be a citizen by now. If I'd gone to Brazil and met a Brazilian woman and had a child by her in Brazil, I'd be an automatic Brazilian citizen. Here, no way, Jose. It doesn't matter if you've got 100 children. You're still on I'm on a non-emigrant. That's the way they say it. Non-emigrant O visa. So you're not an emigrant, or an immigrant, I should say. But you might say, well, why don't I apply for residency to make things easier? Well, to apply for residency, one of the criteria is you need to have an income of 80,000 baht per month. And I don't know many people who have an income of 80,000 baht per month. I'll put the conversion up there on the screen. So you can apply for your residency, but you can also, obviously, you can apply for citizenship. I'll ask you this question. How many people do you know of Western origin, or in other words, moved over here, who have been successful in attaining Thai citizenship? I use the term pigs will fly. So this is what I'm saying, to think carefully before you come here, because there's plenty of other places with similar climates that are a lot less hassle. And here's me saying this to you, and I'm telling you in the same breath, that I never want to leave here because I love it here. This is my home, and I feel so welcome here. It's a wonderful place. And you might say, well, you go to Argentina and you can't walk the streets of Buenos Aires. Probably not, I don't know. But it can't be all that bad. There's lots of other places around the globe which are part of European overseas territories, like France. I mentioned it before, New Caledonia, but there's a bit of trouble going on there now at the moment as I speak. There's St. Martin. There's two jurisdictions in St. Martin. The southern part of the island is Dutch and it's semi-autonomous, and the northern part of the island is French and it's part of the EU. The Dutch one I don't think is part of the EU, the Dutch part. So you're looking at permits and stuff like that. But if you go to the northern part, which is part of the République Française, if you have an EU passport, off you go. No, the sun's gone down again. No need for 90-day reports, no need for visa renewals. You're a citizen of the EU, so therefore you're entitled to live there. There's lots of other examples of these places around the world where it's much, much easier in similar climates. Because really, to be honest, I was joking there earlier on. It was a bit of a joke, There are 3 reasons why I came here. The food is hot, the weather's hot, and the girls are hot. The main criteria for me moving here, as probably you, is the weather. if you're like me and you're from the Western Isles, we don't call them British Isles because Ireland is not part of the British Isles. We are, we just say the Western Isles of Europe, which comprises of the island of Great Britain and the island of Ireland. The weather is fairly grey and overcast and depressing most of the time. Even here now, it's overcast, but it's really, really hot. It's really, really pleasant. I like that. So I could get that. Where could I get that? I could get that in certain parts of Africa on the same latitude. We're 13 degrees north of the equator here. So just follow the line across and you're going to get similar climates. And it could be much easier. No, I'm not saying Africa. There's no way I would consider Africa. That's personally speaking, because of the safety aspect of it and, disease control, like mosquitoes. There's no mosquitoes. There's oodles of mosquitoes. They're omnipresent here. But you don't tend to hear about malaria because there's no real cases of malaria. You have dengue, all right. But Africa, you need to get all kinds of shots and stuff like that. So Africa's out of the question. But the overseas territories of the European Union, I mean, that's where if you're in any way in doubt of where to retire to, I would think long and hard about coming here. I've managed to secure myself here. I'm happily married. I have my son. My son is Thai and he's Irish, a dual citizenship. But that does nothing to secure my tenure here. Absolutely nothing. I'm still on the same visa as I was before he was born. You don't get anything for that. So this is what I'm saying. Think long and hard about it, because it's like a stone in your shoe. I've got to be mindful of when my next 90-day report is. It's about 60 days from now. I've got to be mindful of my renewal of my visa, my annual visa, which is this is July, about 4 months from now. And I have to have $12,000 in my bank account to facilitate that. So, and that money, by the way, and people say, yeah, you can take it out, but why would you take it out and put it back in? If you take it out, you might spend it, you wouldn't have it to put back in. So I just leave it there, but it's dead money. And that you could put that money to some better use if you were living in a place where you didn't need to apply for a visa. I mean, I include the south of Spain here. I include the Greece, the south of Greece, south of Italy. I'm speaking from a European citizen's perspective with an EU passport. But look, if you're American, it's a no-brainer. If you want good weather, you move south. You can go to the Keys in Florida, you can go to Corpus Christi, Texas, you can go way down south in California. I've often said, and who was it? Was it Mark Twain that said, the coldest winter I ever spent was the summer I spent in San Francisco. I think San Francisco is a beautiful place. Would I live there? Absolutely not. Any place that has weather that reaches a low of 10, 11, 12 degrees, no way, Jose. I was looking at the weather yesterday in Dublin, and when I checked it, it's midsummer there now. It was 14 degrees. 14 degrees in summer. I mean, come on. So that's whatever your criteria is. If you want weather, then you've got oodles of choices that might be better than here. If you've got money to burn, come here, you can get an elite visa and you don't have to worry too much about anything after that. But I don't know what that costs, but it costs an arm and a leg. So think carefully before you come to Thailand, before you make that decision. I've often said to myself, and I don't regret someone there's someone cooking spices behind me. I don't regret for one moment being the situation I'm in now with my wife and son. But if I was still single, I probably wouldn't be able to stay here because I'm not qualified in a job. Well, I am qualified. I'm a qualified teacher. But do you want to teach in a school until your retirement in Thailand? I don't know if you've tried it, but it's very, very... It takes a lot. It takes a lot to do that job. So, look, guys, I'm not going to pussyfoot around, I'm not going to delay it, but listen, just bear in mind there's a lot to do to maintain your status in Thailand. And you should think before you come here, because there's plenty of other options available to you in a similar climate. If you agree with what I've said, or if you disagree with what I've said, or if you have a comment on what I've said, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. Click the like button, click the share button, do all those wonderful things. And I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.